Keanu Reeves had always loved sharing moments with friends, family, and fans. But this time, he wanted to do something special for his neighborhood. Late one evening, under a golden sunset, he envisioned a massive outdoor movie screen in his backyard, where neighbors could gather, enjoy films, and experience cinema under the stars. He pictured classic films, indie favorites, and even family-friendly screenings for children. By early morning, Keanu had already called the contractor, sketched out plans, and sourced a screen that could rival a small drive-in theater. The excitement in his household was contagious. Dogs barked happily, and his cats, curious as ever, explored the perimeter where the screen would stand. The yard, usually quiet and serene, buzzed with construction energy. Every beam, every cable, and every light installation reflected Keanu's vision, a community gathering spot that radiated warmth and joy. Neighbors passing by stopped to watch, intrigued by the construction. Some waved at Keanu, praising the idea and joking about free movie nights. Children peeked through the fence, imagining popcorn and laughter under the stars. But not everyone was thrilled. Across the street, a few HOA board members squinted from their windows, taking mental notes and whispering concerns about rules, regulations, and potential chaos. Keanu, however, remained undeterred. He believed in the simple joy of shared experiences. "If we all need a little escape from a daily grind," he told his friend while supervising the installation, "why not create a space where magic happens, right in our backyard?" Little did he know, his dream would soon collide with strict HOA rules, putting his project in jeopardy before the first screening even happened. As night fell, the screen stood tall, gleaming under the floodlights, ready for its maiden movie. Neighbors gathered nearby, some with blankets, some with lawn chairs, all excited for what promised to be the first of many unforgettable nights. But an ominous shadow lingered. A crisp envelope bearing the HOA logo was slipped under Keanu's door, signaling trouble ahead. The next morning, Keanu found the envelope waiting on his doorstep. He opened it carefully, revealing a formal cease and desist letter from the HOA. The letter outlined multiple violations, unauthorized structures, potential noise disturbances, and concerns over property aesthetics. The HOA demanded that the massive screen be removed immediately, threatening hefty fines if he didn't comply within 10 days. Keanu, known for his calm demeanor, read the letter twice. Instead of reacting angrily, he simply leaned back in his chair and sighed. "Well, that's bureaucratic," he murmured. He knew the HOA was notorious for nitpicking small details, but this was personal. This screen wasn't just a structure, it was a community hub. It was supposed to bring joy, not headaches. He called his attorney, who advised him to respond carefully. "We can challenge this," the lawyer explained, "but we need to emphasize community benefit, not just personal use. If we show that this project enriches the neighborhood, we have a strong case." Meanwhile, Keanu reached out to neighbors, gauging support. The response was overwhelming. Many residents expressed disappointment over the HOA's reaction, praising Keanu for bringing people together instead of isolating them. As word spread, social media posts started circulating with hashtags like #BackyardCinemaKeanu and #HOANeedsJoy. Fans of Keanu Reeves, as well as local movie enthusiasts, voiced their support. Comments flooded in, "Who cares about rules when magic is at stake?" And "Keanu brings people together, the HOA just brings paperwork." The pressure on the HOA was mounting, but the board remained steadfast, insisting that regulations must be followed. Determined, Keanu devised a plan. He would host a small private screening to showcase the benefits of his project, inviting only a handful of neighbors and local media. His hope was simple: show the HOA and the community alike that this movie screen could unite people rather than disrupt them. The evening of the private screening arrived, and the backyard was transformed into a cinematic wonderland. Twinkling string lights adorned the trees, lawn chairs were lined up neatly, and a small concession stand offered popcorn and drinks. The massive movie screen gleamed in the dusk, ready to transport attendees to a world of imagination. Neighbors, initially skeptical, arrived cautiously but left enchanted. Children laughed with delight, couples held hands under the stars, and even the more conservative residents found themselves smiling. Keanu introduced the first movie, a beloved classic, and everyone settled in. The atmosphere was magical, proof that the backyard screen was more than just a structure. It was a gathering place, a spark for community spirit. However, the HOA had sent a representative, clipboard in hand, to observe the screening. They took notes meticulously, noting the number of attendees and the noise level. But as the night progressed, something unexpected happened. Even the representative couldn't deny the happiness radiating from the crowd. The laughter, the applause, and the shared moments made it clear that this project enriched lives instead of disturbing them. After the screening, attendees praised Keanu, some even offering to help fund improvements, like better seating and weather protection. Social media buzzed with photos and videos, further proving the positive impact. It was clear, Keanu's backyard cinema wasn't a nuisance, it was a gift to the community. The next HOA meeting was tense. Board members presented their notes, highlighting potential rule violations. But a majority of residents spoke passionately in Keanu's defense. Stories poured in about families who had bonded, children who had discovered new movies, and neighbors who had finally felt connected. The mood shifted. Board members debated, but the weight of community opinion couldn't be ignored. One member finally stood, saying, "Perhaps we need to rethink what rules really mean. Maybe it's time to balance regulations with joy." The room murmured in agreement. Even those who had initially opposed Keanu's project acknowledged its value. In a decisive vote, the HOA agreed to allow the movie screen to remain, provided Keanu made minor adjustments. Soundproofing for late-night screenings, and scheduled movie nights to minimize potential conflicts. Keanu agreed happily, thrilled that compromise had won over conflict. The following weekend, Keanu hosted the official community movie night, now fully endorsed by the HOA. Families arrived with blankets and picnic baskets, excited to experience cinema outdoors. Keanu walked among them, greeting each neighbor warmly, his humble demeanor making everyone feel included. The movie began, and the screen shone brightly against the night sky. Laughter, gasps, and applause echoed through the backyard. It was more than a movie, it was a celebration of connection, creativity, and the human spirit. Even the HOA members, seated unobtrusively in the back, smiled, acknowledging that rules mattered less than happiness and unity. By the end of the night, Keanu's backyard had become a symbol of community spirit, a reminder that joy could triumph over bureaucracy. Neighbors left inspired, promising to return for future screenings. Keanu Reeves had not only installed a movie screen, he had created a lasting legacy of togetherness, proving that even small acts of creativity could bring people closer than any regulation could ever divide them.